Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. And yes, the Steam Winter Sale has come to an end, but guess what? There are some publishers that won't actually just end their deals, you know? They're like, all right, dude, the winter sale is over, but we've got time on our clock where we could just roll out these deals again, and that's what one Capcom is doing, that's what one Sega is doing, and some other deals are just persisting even after the winter sale that I think are worthwhile to cover. Not gonna go over everything that's still running, of course, but, you know, we got some publisher sales and some other notable deals on games that I can glaze at the end of this video. So, right off the top, like I said, Capcom is now running their New Year's sale. They had their, Black Friday deals, I believe they ran. They ran deals for the winter sale, and now they have their New Year's sale. I gotta say, I love Capcom. I love a lot of their games. Huge Resident Evil fan. Huge fan of Devil May Cry. Huge fan of Mega Man. Huge fan of Phoenix Wright. Huge fan of Dragon's Dogma 1, not as much as 2. Onimusha, solid action game, so on and so forth. Capcom, sometimes when I see how often they run their sales, I'm like, alright, we gotta chill out. We gotta relax here, Capcom. And maybe it's because I cover all of the other e-tailers as well. And it's like, oh, here's a Capcom Humble Bundle. Oh, Fanatical's got a Capcom bundle. It's like, there is never a shortage on great Capcom deals. But sometimes I feel like they're that really good friend you have that stays over. You let them sleep over at your crib after a party or after a get-together. They're brutally hungover, and then, they just stay for a long time, and then they won't leave. Sometimes Capcom, I'm like, maybe you gotta leave for a while. Maybe you just don't gotta run deals for a little bit, but you know what? Who cares? They've got some great deals, and I feel like that's always going to be the case. Devil May Cry 5, 75% off for $7.49. Always a good pickup there. Excellent action game. Resident Evil Village got all the way down to $14.99, and it is available for that for the Gold Edition. So unfortunately, they don't have the bundle on sale anymore with Village, but the bundle with Biohazard Resident Evil 7 on sale. But the Village Gold Edition for $14.99 is certainly pretty good. Dragon's Dogma 2, $29.39. Onimusha 1 and 2 are both on sale as well. They've got an Onimusha 1 and 2 pack for $23.39. Really excited for Way of the Sword. Onimusha Way of the Sword, that is, coming out later this year. Apollo Justice and Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, 55% off for $27. That'll get you both trilogies, the Phoenix Wright Trilogy and the Apollo Justice Trilogy. So you can check all of those out. They are running these deals right now. On top of that, they got their fighting games on sale. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Street Fighter V on sale. All of the older Devil May Cry games, Mega Man titles are discounted as well. So some great stuff across the board there. As much as I goof around about Capcom running deals too much, it's really not a big deal. Run all the deals you want. I really don't care. I just think it's a little bit humorous, and I do think, honestly, it would behoove them to pump the brakes a little bit and not run as many deals. It's the law of diminishing returns, I feel like, for Capcom sometimes, and, goes to show for me to say it as how much I spam out deals videos, and that you could consider that to be the law of diminishing returns, but I digress. Capcom is one of the best publishers in gaming, in my opinion. Even, I get it, the DRM, Monster Hunter Wilds being a disaster. Hopefully they don't have a disaster PC version this year, but man, their slate of games coming out in 2026 looks so good. Resident Evil Requiem, Monster Hunter Stories 3, Pragmata, and Onimusha Way of the Sword. I mean, that's a 4-pack that is going to be pretty difficult to contest with. Like, that's 4 major games, and 2027, they already have Mega Man Dual Override set for 27, and they have Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection. Like, Capcom's got a lot of great stuff coming out this year, so honestly, as far as a publisher for 26 to be on the lookout for, Capcom is that for me. So hopefully they drop some quality stuff. Sega is going to be dropping some quality stuff this year as well. They are running the Sega and Atlas Winter Bonus Sale right now. Again, a carryover of a lot of the deals that were running as a part of the Winter Sale. But, Sega games are pretty darn good these days, so why not check out Sonic Frontiers for $17.99? That's an excellent deal, an awesome game with a tremendous soundtrack. Fingers crossed that this is going to be the year that we get Sonic Frontiers 2. It's been 4 years. This year will be 4 years since Frontiers came out, which, that's not that long of a time to wait for a major Sonic game release in terms of, a new Sonic game. I get it, Team Sonic, Sonic X Shadow Generations, but in terms of a big new game, I feel like this is the year for Frontiers 2, but maybe they'll end up doing Sonic and the Black Knight remastered. I don't know. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe that's what people are calling for. Trunks and Sonic coming together in Black Knight. But nonetheless, Frontiers, 70% off for $17.99. Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Awesome action game. I really, really enjoyed that game. Outside of some of the platforming that infuriated me by the end, I thought Shinobi Art of Vengeance was a really good game. Red Doe Remastered, 30% off for $35. I mean, I would like to see that a little bit cheaper, but that's fine. Persona 5 Royal, 70% off for $17.99. Obviously an excellent deal there. Definitely recommend that. One of the greatest JRPGs of all time. Sonic X Shadow Generations, $25 on that. That was the Sonic release from 2024. And it was really good, man. Sonic Generations was out for a long time. It was going for $5 on Steam regularly, so the fact that they kind of eliminated the ability to buy that, and then you had to get this version for a much more expensive price point, that was a bummer, but that Shadow campaign was a banger. The Shadow campaign was awesome and, didn't have a ton of content, but the 7-8 hours by doing everything, probably closer to 7 hours if you do take your time and do everything, is a worthwhile 7 hours for sure. So $25 on that, definitely not a great pickup there, but I would say pretty good. And then Metaphor Refantasio is $35, of course. You guys know how I feel about that game. It's my game of the year. It was my game of the year, I should say, from 2024. I think that game is absolutely outstanding, so certainly recommend that. And just a great JRPG, excellent turn-based JRPG as well, so worthwhile to check that out. Unfortunately, they aren't running discounts on everything now. They don't have like Judgment or the Yakuza titles on sale, so a little bit more limited selections, but that's fine coming off the heels of the winter sale. Couple of other deals to go over, and then we'll wrap up this video. The 100 line Last Defense Academy is still on sale, 30% off for $42. This was one of my favorite games of 2025. I was absolutely blown away by this game, and maybe it was a little bit too ambitious for its own good. I definitely get that thought process when it comes to this game. You have a game with so many different endings, so many different pathways, and it's trying to tell a narrative that gets pretty crazy, and not all of it is completely cohesive. Not all of it is worthwhile. There's some pacing issues there for sure, but what is here is just an incredibly compelling, unique experience that I think everybody should give a shot to. A lot of it is a visual novel, a narrative-driven visual novel. There is some tactical style gameplay as well that's pretty well done. The character designs and the depth of characters is pretty incredible in that regard as well. I just love this game for what it tried to do, and it was just so unapologetically itself. Like, it wasn't going to veer off of its identity, so to speak, and yeah, I just love this game. I think everybody should give a shot to it. Look, if you're not into Japanese games, it's not going to be up your alley, but it's one of those games that blew me away going through it, and it's a lot of content, and definitely recommend it. So obviously a little bit on the more expensive side, but highly recommend it. Then we got Trails in the Sky first chapter. That is 25% off for $45. That'll be available for another day. Trails in the Sky first chapter is an incredible JRPG, a ground up remake of the very first Legend of Heroes game, which, if you don't know, I am a huge fan. It's probably my favorite ongoing franchise in all of gaming, in the sense of whenever a Legend of Heroes game comes out, batten down the hatches. Literally every other game is getting dropped, and the game has my attention for 80 hours, and that's literally about to happen in about 9 days when Beyond the Horizon comes out, and when Trails in the Sky second chapter comes out, that'll happen again. It's just the franchise that I'm into, and I love the characters, I love the world. Even the lesser games I really enjoy, like Daybreak 2, I really enjoyed still, and Trails in the Sky first chapter was awesome. Now, a lot of this game is a setup game for the sequel. The story really picks up by the end, and then after you finish the game, you'll be really excited for second chapter, but yeah, just a great game, super likable characters, and for $45, highly recommend that. And then lastly, I should mention that Dead Island 2 is still available for $4.99, which I think is a really, really good pickup. Historic low for Dead Island 2. It's not a blowaway game, but, if you waited all that time and you didn't pick it up when it was an Epic Game Store exclusive, man, all these years later, you are now picking it up, and it's only been, 3 years since Dead Island 2 came out? Dead Island 2 came out in, early 2023. It hasn't been that long, and now you can get the base game for $4.99, but ideally, pick up the Ultimate Edition with the DLC, and you'll get that for $7. That's a ridiculous deal. And zombie slaying action games that are just gory as all hell, I feel like these games always end up being a fairly fun time, if nothing else. Even if you aren't super immersed and super engaged into the narrative, you're gonna have a fun time with them. So yeah, that obviously is a really good deal. Ultimate Edition, $7 there. But that is gonna do it for me. Some post-winter sale game sales and deals that are still running on Steam. Still a lot of stuff worthwhile to check out. So that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.